So before we start jumping into these particular heresies that I want to talk about in this course, I think it would do us well to spend a few moments talking about what is a heresy and why are we talking about it? What's the big deal behind heresies? As I've discussed with a number of you, and I think I mentioned in the advertisement, this class is based in part on the very short book, so that's why I say in part. It's a very short book by Hilaire Belloc of the same title, The Great Heresies. And so I'm going to use some quotes and some ideas from him throughout. But the main thing I really want to use from him is just his idea of what is a heresy and why should we bother studying heresies. And so Belloc talks about really three components of heresiology. It's a great thing about academic terms. There's an ology for everything. So in heresiology, the study of heresies, the first thing we recognize is that heresies are always somehow related to things larger than themselves. They're a part of a larger system, but it's a system that's been modified, it's been changed or adapted. That's important because heresies don't spring up out of nothing. Now sometimes, as we'll see particularly down the road in church history, heresies don't have to be Christian, but they do at least react. Welcome.
Thank you.
No, you're fine. They do at least react to Christianity. And so because of that, I think we can say that every heresy is sort of an offshoot of the faith. Okay? Whether it departs totally from it, whether it modifies it, changes it, adapts it, distorts it, whatever it is, it has something to do with a larger system. Secondly, is why do we talk about them, and why do we argue about them, and why do authors spend so many pages and vials of ink debating these theological points of heresies? What's the big deal? Is it just theology? Yeah, but Belloc says it's really sociology. The reason that Belloc is so concerned with heresies is because he sees how heresies shape cultures. Heresies change society in a very palpable way. He has written numerous books on how Europe specifically, but also he talks about the Greater West, has been shaped by Christianity and by the distortion of Christianity that have followed, sadly, in its aftermath in a lot of the world. Okay, so it's sociological. It's not just trying to get the last word in theologically. These are things that change the way we live. They have ramifications for our daily lives. And I hope that we'll see that as we go through this course. I hope that we'll see that, fast forward to the 21st century, all of our problems are theological problems, would be my contention. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a theologian, but all of our problems are principally theological problems. They then manifest themselves in various other ways. Okay? This is what Belloc says. He says that we need to fight heresies because, quote, they will produce a way of living and a social character that's at issue with, irritating, and perhaps mortal to the way of living and the social character produced by orthodoxy. So it says that heresies will create a new way of life that at least irritates. And some of you might feel irritated. You might feel that your way of life has been irritated by heresies, but might be mortal to you. It might totally kill the way of living that's produced by authentic Christianity, and by orthodoxy. So that's important. And then the third thing he points out, which I find resounding, he wrote this in the 30s, but it rings so true today in the 21st century. He says that societies can't function without a creed. He says individual people can live an entire life without a set of beliefs. Individuals can do that, but societies absolutely cannot do it.